I woke up to the soft glow of his phone screen, my heart pounding so hard it felt like it might burst from my chest. My fingers trembled as I scrolled through the messages, the weight of every word pressing down on me like a vice. The name flashing at the top of the screen was unfamiliar, but the messages were not. The teasing, the late-night confessions, the stolen moments that didn't belong to me. And then, the pictures. God, the pictures. My husband, the man I had given my entire life to, had been texting this woman for months. Their words painted a story of intimacy, of secrets shared in the dark while I slept beside him, oblivious. But that wasn't the worst of it. My breath hitched, my stomach twisting violently as I scrolled further. Among the pictures of himself he had sent, there were others, pictures of our daughter. My vision blurred with rage and devastation. My fingers gripped the phone so tightly it hurt. I turned to him, still asleep beside me, his breathing deep and steady, unaware that everything he thought was hidden had come to light. Something inside me snapped. I shoved his shoulder. "Wake up!" He stirred, mumbling incoherently, his body shifting under the covers. "Wake up!" My voice cut through the darkness, sharp and shaking. His eyes blinked open, adjusting to the dim light of the room. Confusion clouded his face. What's wrong?" I didn't answer. I just held up his phone, the messages glowing between us like a loaded gun. "Who the hell is she?" His gaze dropped to the screen, and in that instant, I saw it. Guilt, panic, the realization that there was no way out of this. He sat up quickly, reaching for me, but I pulled away, gripping the phone like it might shatter in my hands. "Explain this." My voice was raw, shaking, barely holding back the storm that was about to break. He exhaled sharply, running a hand through his hair. "Babe, I can." "Don't you dare babe me." My voice cracked, the pain bleeding through every syllable. "You've been talking to her for months, sending her pictures. She sent you nudes. What the hell is this?" His hand dragged down his face, a long, heavy sigh escaping him. "It's not what it looks like." A sharp, bitter laugh tore from my throat. "Oh, really? Because it looks like you've been having a secret relationship behind my back. Again." My breath came in short, shallow gasps. "You promised me. You swore it was a mistake. That it wouldn't happen again. That you loved me." My voice broke on the last word, fragile and wounded. He reached for me, but I recoiled, my entire body screaming for distance. "I do love you," he said desperately. "I never stopped." "Then why?" My voice was barely above a whisper now. "Why would you do this?" He hesitated, his jaw tightening. "I've known her for a long time," he admitted. "Since before I met you. Almost 10 years. A cold dread settled over me. This wasn't some random woman. This wasn't a mistake. This was history. You've been talking to her this whole time. Off and on." He nodded, shame coloring his face. "Not always like this. Sometimes it's just catching up. But after you started traveling more for your rotations, I don't know, things got personal again." That word hit me like a punch to the chest. Personal. Did you sleep with her? His answer was immediate. "No, not since before we were together. I swear to you, nothing physical has happened." "But you sent her pictures." My voice rose. "You let her send you nudes. You shared photos of our daughter with her. Why would you do that?" He looked away, his hands clenched into fists. "I wasn't thinking. She asked about me, about the baby. I thought it was innocent." "But it wasn't," I whispered. His eyes shone with regret. "I know. I crossed the line. I hate myself for it." I shook my head, every muscle in my body wound tight with rage and heartbreak. "You swore to me." I choked out. "You promised." "I know," he whispered, his voice cracking, "and I broke that promise." He leaned forward, desperate. "I don't expect you to forgive me right now. I just need you to know that I love you, that I never stopped loving you." I stared at him, searching for something, some sign that this was still the man I thought I knew. But all I saw was a stranger. I didn't sleep that night. He tried. God, he tried. He sat on the edge of the bed for hours, waiting, hoping I would say something. anything. But I turned away, curling up on my side, my back stiff with anger and betrayal. He finally left around 4 a.m. I listened to his footsteps fade down the hallway. Then, silence. By morning, I still hadn't moved. The only thing that pulled me from the darkness was the sound of our daughter's soft cries from her room. I wiped my face, only then realizing I had been crying, and forced myself to stand. When I picked her up, she smiled at me, her tiny hands grabbing at my hair, her warm body pressing against mine. For a brief, fleeting moment, I envied her. Her innocence, her blissful ignorance of the storm raging inside me. I carried her into the kitchen. He was already there, sitting at the table, his face pale, his eyes rimmed with red. He looked like hell. We didn't speak at first. I placed our daughter in her high chair and started preparing her breakfast. The quiet hum of the refrigerator, the soft clink of a spoon against a bowl, those were the only sounds in the room. Then, finally, his voice broke the silence. I didn't sleep. I didn't respond. I know you don't want to talk to me, he continued, voice hoarse. But I need you to know that I'll cut her off. Completely. I'll block her, delete her number. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. I still didn't look at him. You should have done that a year ago, I said flatly. A long, shaky breath left him. I know. I should have. I was weak. That's the truth. I liked the attention. I liked the way she made me feel when I felt alone. But it was never love. Never like. Don't. My voice was cold. Just don't. He swallowed hard, nodding slowly. The damage was already done. I turned to face him, my voice raw, my hand shaking with the weight of everything I had held in. You weren't alone, I said, my breath hitching. You just weren't getting what you wanted from me while I was out chasing something better for all of us. My voice cracked, the anger mixing with exhaustion. You think I like being gone every week? You think I wasn't lonely, drained, completely exhausted? He didn't answer, only nodded slowly, taking it, accepting the truth of it. Tears welled in my eyes, burning hot against my skin. I gave you grace the first time, I whispered, shaking my head. I let it go. I believed you. I trusted you. He stood up then, cautious, as if afraid I might shatter right in front of him. His voice was low, steady. I don't deserve that trust anymore, he admitted, his eyes full of something raw, something desperate. But I want to earn it back. I'll do whatever it takes. Therapy, transparency, anything. My arms felt heavy, my heart torn between fury and something softer, something dangerous. I don't know what I want from you, I admitted, my voice almost too quiet to hear. Part of me wants to scream until you leave. Part of me wants to forgive you again and pray there won't be a next time. The silence between us stretched, thick with uncertainty. Behind me, our daughter laughed, smashing scrambled eggs against the tray with a tiny spoon. The world hadn't ended. The house hadn't burned down. But nothing felt the same. The days blurred together after that. He stayed, slept on the couch, moved through the house like a ghost, careful, quiet, like a stranger afraid of waking someone else's family. I didn't tell him to leave, but I didn't ask him to stay either. I just needed space, time, clarity. He gave it to me, mostly, but I could feel his eyes on me when I moved through the house, lingering, searching for a sign that this wasn't the end. I didn't know if it was. I kept moving, kept the routine for our daughter, for myself, changing diapers, washing bottles, feeding her lunch, anything to keep the weight of it all from crushing me. But at night, I couldn't stop the loop from playing in my mind, finding those messages, the words, the pictures, the betrayal carved into me like something permanent. Had I missed the signs? Had I been too focused on school, too trusting? Or had I just chosen not to look? A few nights later, there was a knock on my bedroom door. I didn't answer, but he opened it anyway, slow, hesitant, like he knew he wasn't welcome but couldn't stay away. He lingered in the doorway, not stepping closer. I blocked her, he said. I wanted you to see it. I didn't look up from the book in my hands, the one I wasn't really reading. My voice was low, empty. Why didn't you block her after the first time? He hesitated, his silence stretching too long before he spoke. I thought I could handle it. I thought it was under control. I didn't think I'd slip back. I finally looked at him, my stare cutting through the dim light. You had a choice, I said, and you chose her. Again. His throat bobbed as he swallowed hard. I know, he admitted, voice thick with regret, and I hate myself for it. The silence between us felt suffocating. I watched him, trying to see the man I once knew beneath the guilt and the shame, trying to figure out if love alone could ever be enough. Why did you keep talking to her? My voice was softer this time, laced with something more fragile than anger. He stepped further into the room, sitting down in the chair across from me, his hands clasped tightly together. Because she never expected anything from me, he said finally. She never got mad when I forgot to text back. She didn't ask how my day was. It was easy. He exhaled slowly, looking at the floor, and when I was overwhelmed, I ran to easy. His honesty cut deeper than his betrayal. And me? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. His eyes met mine, full of something unguarded. You were real, he said. You are everything. And that scared me more than I realized. I thought I didn't deserve it, so I sabotaged it. Tears burned at the edges of my eyes. You didn't deserve it, I whispered. I know. His voice was steady, unwavering. You're right. I looked at him, tired, broken, still loving him against all logic. That was a problem. If I didn't love him, this would be easy. But nothing about love is easy when trust is gone. He stood up, his movement slow, deliberate. I'll give you space, he said, as if saying it out loud would make it easier for him to walk away. I'm not rushing you. I just needed to tell you that I know I messed up, and I want to fix it if you ever let me. He left, closing the door behind him. I sat there, alone in the quiet, listening to the soft ticking of the clock on the wall. And for the first time since that night, I let myself ask the question I had been too afraid to face. Could I ever love in the same way again? Weeks passed. Some days were better than others. He stayed consistent, helped with the baby, made dinner, did the little things I had once done without thinking. He never complained, never pushed. He waited. I went to therapy alone at first. I needed to sort through the wreckage in my mind, the betrayal, the grief, the leftover love I didn't know what to do with. I sat on a couch and told a stranger how the person I trusted most had shattered something sacred. Some days I cried. Some days I felt numb. Some days I was so angry I wanted to scream. Other days, I thought I might be okay. He offered to go to couples therapy. I told him maybe. Our daughter took her first steps during that time. She let go of the coffee table, wobbled on shaky little legs, and stepped between us, two parents sitting on opposite ends of the living room, cheering for her like nothing had changed. But everything had. There was an invisible wall between us, every conversation careful, every interaction measured, like we were standing on the edge of something fragile. One night, after putting her to bed, I stepped outside, letting the cool air fill my lungs. He joined me, sitting on the porch steps without a word. The sky stretched out above us, dark and endless, full of stars. But it felt heavy. He spoke first. I know it doesn't matter right now, he said quietly, but I miss you. I looked at him, my expression unreadable. You missed a version of me that didn't know what you were doing. He nodded, his jaw tight. Maybe, but I miss all of you. Even this version. Even the hurt. His voice was steady. I'd rather have your anger than lose you completely. I stared at the yard, thinking about how much had changed. I don't know if I can ever feel safe with you again, I admitted. He nodded, accepting it. I get it. But I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. No matter how long it takes, I'll keep showing up. I turned to face him fully, even if I don't forgive you. He met my gaze without hesitation, even then. And for the first time, I believed him, not because he was saying what I wanted to hear, but because he wasn't trying to control the outcome anymore. He was just showing up. A month later, we sat side by side in a therapist's office, two people trying to rebuild something that might never look the same again. I hadn't forgiven him. Not fully, but I wasn't ready to let go, either. Trust takes time. So does healing. But we were trying. And for now, that was enough.